We should be back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're just talking, eating muffin.
I mean, you're supposed to be describing this town for me, though.
The mouthful of muffin is more important.
Only
Okay,
if it's
so-
a blueberry muffin.
There are no blueberries in it. It's like a banana breakfasty muffin that just got made,
I mean-
so it's nice and warm.
It's a close second. Not as good as blueberry, but banana muffins are close.
Yeah. Could do it with blueberries next time. Oh well. Anyway, you're in the town of Camor. It's a small town of a few hundred people along a big trade route from the coast to the inland hills and mountains, where then it goes off into all sorts of whatever. So it's a pretty nice town. It's just like a small, quiet, tight community built on trade. There's a lot of nice businesses and stuff around it. People seem generally pretty friendly and stuff like that. It's got a very relaxed atmosphere.
Nice. Where's the page I was looking for? One. There we are. Need to look up something. Oh, I got that at 2. Okay.
You
Yeah.
forget something.
No, I was just seeing if I had cunning action or not. Because it's useful.
Okay.
And I do. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll ask around. Is it morning or evening or?
So it's probably afternoon turning into evening.
Okay, I'll go find a room to stay in at the local inn, and while I'm there, I'm gonna ask around about the area to the east where I'll be mapping things out.
Mm-hmm.
How much for the room?
That's 5 silver.
All right, nice and easy.
And you can either drop a few copper or a whole silver on your meal, depending on what strikes your fancy.
I'll just do the copper. Just
Okay,
two.
so oh, this one's 3 copper, but it's actually got like meat in it.
Ooh,
It's a
nice.
sort of meat and vegetable stew. It's not actually that bad.
Solid upgrade.
Yeah. So it seems like a pretty nice little town that's out here. But as for asking around, so most of the patrons of the bar are halflings. There's a lot of like farms and stuff around the area with a big halfling population, which is Merrick told you a lot of this as well.
Mhm.
From what you asked, there's a few farms out east, but they drop off pretty quickly because the hills just start getting too big. It's too
Yeah.
hard to farm the lands and that. So,
Um,
and there's just no settlements at all east at all until once you get over the other side of the hills, then there's just like marshes and ocean.
I'm gonna ask specifically about like dangerous wildlife, bandits around, dangerous natural, whatever.
Yeah. There's probably not that many bandits around. Like they'll stay closer to the settlements. Like maybe there's a camp out there somewhere that's like a main camp. Who knows? But bandits tend to stick closer to the road. All sorts of weird and wonderful beasts live out there though, because it's pretty untamed and wild.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask, like, have they had problems with anything in particular? Like, are there owl bears eating farmers?
Well, the farmers themselves are usually pretty good at staving off the beasts, and the civilization and stuff keeps away some, but every now and then animals go missing to mysterious beasts. It's known that there's stuff like ogres and goblins and bugbears live in the hills. There's weird sorts of beasts, and people talk about like giant spiders and wolves and all sorts of things.
Alright. So yeah.
So
I just
Yeah,
figure
take-
find out whatever I can from random people in the tavern.
Yeah, so the general feel is that there's lots of a diverse range of dangerous beasts out there.
Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just sleep the night. How many days has it been since... I guess it's only been a day.
Since what?
Last combat.
Yeah, but you don't get anything for a day. You need to have a full week of
Yeah.
rest to get your hit die back.
That's why I was asking, because if it wasn't for those bandits, I'd be at like day 4 or something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, sucks to hear.
Damn bandits.
But then all
They
the
did no
walking you would
damage,
do.
it's fine.
Yeah, but then all the walking you'd be doing, unless you wanted to spend 3 days in town.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1 hit point. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
How do we want hit die to come back? Is that only when you're doing the long rest? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get half your hit die, and I'll say rounded up, even though the book says rounded down because we're doing the harder
Yeah.
rule. You get half your hit die rounded up, so you get 2 back after you take a week-long rest.
Alright. Yeah, I'll sleep the night and then head out into the wilderness the next day.
Okay. Dun dun dun. That's not the right window. Where is it?
So yeah.
Okay.
I'll walk around with my short bow out, and I'll go at a slightly slower pace so that I'm stealthy and perceptive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I won't make as good of time, but I probably won't be caught off guard while doing it, is the idea.
Okay.
And I want to look out for any sort of wildlife that's particularly dangerous or noteworthy. So if I see wolves or bears or anything threatening, I want to know. If I see anything that looks weird and rare, I'd want to know.
Okay.
If I see any like merchants or traders, that's also noteworthy.
There's no road. There's no road out here. Like
Yeah,
the road
but I
goes-
mean, if I see like any like wandering merchants or anything, like travelers through the woods, if I see any other people of any sort, especially if they're elves.
Okay.
I
Well, if
wanna
you see
take
any
note.
people at all, that would be weird because this is like unmapped.
Yeah.
Like this is like you're heading out into like unsettled territory, so any people at all would be noteworthy. It's like there shouldn't be people out here.
Yeah, I mean, but in particular, want to make sure.
Hey, I just saw like a smirk, and I'm like, what are you typing?
Yeah.
As long as I'm the prettiest.
So yeah. How far is it from Camor to the area I'm supposed to be mapping out?
Well, yeah, I suppose they said go north for about a day and then head east. Or I suppose no, head straight northeast from Camor and you'll hit the mountains. But yeah,
Okay.
actually, so the specific instructions will tell you, yeah, go about a day north, then head east, and you'll hit the start of the mountain range. Then you can walk all the way around the mountain range until it starts to curve, and then you can head back.
All right. Yeah, I'll just
So
follow
actually, yeah,
the
you will
directions.
follow the road for a day.
So yeah,
Yeah, so that,
I'll do that.
I mean, you can go however you
Um,
want, but that's like the suggested route.
If I'm following the road for a day, I won't be stealthy while on the road. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will I will be a bit more cautious and have my bow out.
Okay. You do meet a few people coming along the road. Like there's you run into a few groups of travelers. There's another halfling farmer. I mean, just say if you want to stop and say anything other than hello to these people. There's a couple of merchants bringing some silks down. They've got a few armed guards with them.
Yeah. Are they elves?
Let me see. Oh wait, what should I be rolling? One is an elf, one's not. Well, one's a half elf, I should say.
Okay.
It's a husband and wife. The wife is a half elf.
Yeah. I won't bother with any of them then. I'll just walk.
And,
I'll just
and their
pass
guards are all humans and dwarves. There's a rider that comes down the road on horseback from towards you. Doesn't look to be elven. Like, you don't get a good look. They're not galloping like flat out, but they're going at a decent pace.
Are they armed or just?
No.
Okay.
They're just wearing just clothes, and they pay you no notice.
Yeah, I don't bother with them then. So rest of the day uneventful.
Yeah, just a few sets of people, and then you sort of get about a day as it's coming to evening. You get to about the point where you should be heading off the road, and starting to head due east. But it's
Yeah, when it's
yeah,
evening, I'll find a place off the road, ideally a large tree or something. I'd like to set up in a tree to sleep, if at all possible. If there are trees around. If not, I'll
there are some trees around, but they're more like
I can.
more like pine trees, which are a bit harder to because they don't have big, thick branches.
A lot of them do. Depends on the pine tree.
They're very climbable, but
yeah, I mean, like, there are a lot of pine trees around here that could work, and there are others that would be terrible. It really depends on the species.
it's more of the not so good species.
Okay.
Like, you could totally climb it and just sit in the tree, but it would be a bit hard to like sleep.
More of the
in
Christmas tree style pine tree.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
Okay. So yeah, I'd still like set up underneath the tree or like amongst the tree as much as I can.
Yeah, you can.
And I won't make a fire, and I'll sleep underneath the tree as best I can.
Okay. It's pretty windy and cold, but you managed to make a half decent break by positioning yourself.
I mean, I'll just like cover myself in my bedroll or something.
Yeah. It's not the most comfortable night's sleep you've had, but it's pretty manageable, and nothing disturbs you in the night.
Yeah. After the wolves, paranoid.
Yeah. Okay.
So, head off through the wilds in the morning.
Okay, so you travel for a few more hours, and the terrain starts getting much hillier, and it's fewer trees. It's more shrubs and rocky hills now. So it's slow going, but you're not at the mountains yet. Still lots of hills, and the whole day goes by with nothing happening.
Okay. Yep. Same thing then. I guess I'll consume one of my rations.
Yeah. So
or
I think that's one. Well, it'll be So you're gonna. Well, it's one ration is a whole day of food.
Yeah.
So
but it's been 2 days.
Yeah.
So 2 rations.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. Try and find a tree or somewhere really defensible high up to sleep.
Okay, well, there's no trees around here. There's like shrubs and stuff. Like, you could probably find, a decent rocky outcrop.
Yeah, if there's a rocky outcrop or something.
Yeah, you can find a rocky outcrop such that if wolves find you, they're not going to be able to attack you while you're asleep. Like, you'll at least get woken up and have time to defend yourself.
Yep.
Okay. You don't get eaten or attacked in the night.
Woohoo. All right. Yep. Pattern again.
Yep.
I guess it's another day east, and then I'll hit the mountains. You said.
Yeah, about that. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, keep up the pattern.
Alright, let's see what happens today. Okay, so you're coming over a hill, and I suppose you're being perceptive, so make a perception check.
Where's perception? There it is.
Under P.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have it open. What'd you get?
14. 18 if I have advantage.
No. Okay, so you hear some noises, like some really low voices, and you sort of only hear them just as you pass over the top of a mountainous ridge. And looking down at the bottom of this hill, about 100 feet away, you see a few creatures.
Yeah, I'd instantly crouch down as soon as I heard voices. or noises of
Yeah.
any sort.
Let me check exactly what variety.
I can hide as a bonus action.
Can you?
Yeah, because of cunning action.
Okay, do that.
Alright, so stealth. Ew, that's really bad.
Still good enough because
Yeah.
you see at the
That's
at
a
the bottom of
plus
this.
8,
Oh, really?
and I get a 14.
Well, a natural 6 is not like the worst thing in the world.
It's
but
pretty bad.
nonetheless, the at the bottom of this hill, about 100 feet away, you see a group of 5 giants of some variety,
Jesus.
standing around talking.
Yeah, I instantly creep
Sorry,
over
not
the
5, 3. Not 5, 3.
I instantly
But
creep
still.
back over the other side of the hill and look for somewhere to
Okay.
hide.
Make a nature check.
You do not fuck with giants.
Of course.
12.
Okay. Yeah, there are some sort of giants with clubs and stuff. Go ahead and them first. They don't seem to have noticed you though. But
Yeah. I instantly go find somewhere to hide.
okay, do you try and like just get away and like head the direction you were heading, but around another route, or you just find somewhere to hide and hope they move on or whatever?
I'll try to like get away from here along some route that's roughly hidden from them. If I find like anywhere that's really secluded, I might hole up there for an hour or two.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. So you pass the rest of the day, so you end up heading around another ridge and stuff, and looking down, you see the spot where they were, and they're still there. You can see from this other vantage point, but you're like hundreds of feet away now, so there's like no way they'd see you.
Yeah.
And you continue on your way. So the rest of the day, yeah, you travel and make camp at night. You can see off in the distance, like the peaks rising up further of the mountains. So you'll be able to get there sometime tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, find a defensible spot. Go to sleep as much as...
Okay. Yeah, so you're asleep. Let's see what happens.
And you die.
Game over. Because you don't notice anything, so you just get murdered by something.
Yeah.
And you wake up hearing some voices. And
Grab
you realize
my
that
bow, hide as
they're
much
really,
as I can.
no, but they're like really, really close. They're like 10 meters away.
Yeah, I have my bow next to me, so...
Okay, it sounds like a couple of people just making small talk, like they're talking about some mutual friend or acquaintance of theirs. And it's a man and a woman's voices you hear. I guess make a perception check.
Yeah, blah, skills. Oh, I'm on skills. No wonder.
How do I skills?
Really bad at this.
20 is pretty good.
Yeah, I meant
You're good at
the
rolling.
finding my thing on my
Yeah.
sheet.
You can tell the woman has an elven accent, even though they're speaking common.
Okay. Is it too dark to see anything at all?
Yeah, so your eyes are adjusting, and I guess you try and make a perception check again to see what you can see.
No,
I mean, you'll be able to see something. I mean, it's, yeah. So it's a moonlit night. So as your eyes adjust, you see that walking down the hill that you're on the opposite side of the big rock that you are camping on or next to, are 2 figures. And from the voices there, it's a man and a woman talking about someone.
they're talking in common?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I see any, like, details or features?
They're both wearing leather armor. They're both. The woman has a short bow, and the man has a club.
Okay.
They're walking away from you. Their backs are to you.
And I can't hear any details about what they're talking about.
So the details you hear is that the person they're talking about, they don't actually say their name. They just keep referring to him. They're just saying, "Oh, this guy's such an idiot. Like, you believe that they let the wolves into the camp yesterday? And God, I mean, lucky we're all right, but I don't think we should put him on watch again. Blah blah blah." Like, it's pretty unusual that there's people this far out in the middle of nowhere.
The woman was the one who had an elven accent?
Yeah.
And she has the bow.
Yeah.
When they're... See, the max range on a short bow is 300 feet.
So when they're 300 feet away, you're gonna shoot?
When they're 200 feet away, I want to shoot her in the back.
Okay. Roll to hit with advantage.
19.
Oh, I was like, really? Only a 7? I'm like, oh, you got advantage.
Yeah.
Yep, that
And
hits
then
her
8,
squarely
and
in the back.
And then, so 14 total.
Okay, let's have a look here. She falls over, and you hear the man be like, "Hey, what happened?" And probably roll for initiative now.
Yeah. Oh. Oh well.
Oh well, what did you get? A 5.
Natural
Okay,
1.
so the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total 5. So make a stealth check, I guess, because you're sort of like, I assume you're crouching and not making
I'm
yourself
hiding.
super visible.
As my bonus action.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make a stealth check then. So the man like turns around, just like looks around everywhere, and then looks at the woman, sees the arrow, and like just like scoots down behind some low like behind like a rock or something in the cover. He says, "Who are you? Who's out there?
Does he only have partial cover?
Show yourself." Yeah, from where you are, because you're uphill, you'll have some sort of partial cover. Does that give like a +2 to AC or something?
Normally, yes. But I have my super broken perk. So I'll hit him now, and I don't want to kill him. So
okay, so I'm gonna and use this in the other campaign. And I was gonna explain it. Use the optional rules for disabling shots. So you roll with disadvantage. And if you hit, you do half damage, but you roll on crit tables.
Okay. So we're not doing you just put them to 0 instead of killing.
I mean, if you want to do it that way, if you want to try and do non-lethal damage, I think you roll with disadvantage. But so yeah, I'll do the specific critical effects thing. But if you want to roll non-lethal damage, you have disadvantage.
I'm probably... Am I close enough to get to him before he'd bleed out?
I don't know. So it would take...
He's 200 feet.
200
I can
feet.
move...
Well, you can...
60 around.
You can probably do double your movement around because it's rocky, hilly terrain.
That's... Or could I do triple, actually? If I use my action as a move then, too?
Yeah, we have dash as a bonus action, sure.
Yeah, so if I could do 90, then I could do 180 in 2 rounds and get to him in the 3rd.
Yeah.
So I roll with disadvantage, but it's an auto critical hit then for the disabling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, so... he'll still have to roll a save or a con save, rather. But
I get advantage because he has no idea where I am.
That's true, so it's just a normal hit.
Out.
Yeah. So it's just a normal attack. It'll do half damage, and he has to do a con save.
22.
Okay,
and
you
then
hit.
5 and 2d6.
Okay, so you do 6 damage then?
Yeah.
Okay, you give him a nasty hit through the shoulder. He does not pass his con save, so roll 2d4 for severity and d10 for location.
Yeah.
2d5.
Ow. I mean, it's probably not
Okay.
even worth looking at.
No, it's not actually. You need at least a 4 for it to be something. Okay, so you hit him in the shoulder, and he tries to scrabble to his feet and like slide down the hill and run.
Can I do it again?
Yeah, you can do it again.
Is he still in view? All right.
Yeah, so
19 is a hit.
yep.
6.
Okay, he falls over.
I mean, it's only half, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's 11 in total. Yeah, you take at least 5.
Yeah, he had 3 HP, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he falls over and like tumbles down the hill a bit.
Okay. The woman's probably dead as shit by now.
Well, let's see. Actually, do you care that much?
I mean, she's on the way,
Give me a perception check.
so I'll look at her as I'm running past, and if she seems alive, I'll try and save her instead.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, as you look over to her, you actually see her. She's actually up and moving and sort of half crawling, scrabbling away, directly perpendicular to you, to your right.
Okay, I'll run after her then.
Okay, you can catch up to her without much problem.
Yeah, I'll draw my rapier on her and I'll just demand I'll just be like, sit down.
So you come up, like she sort of sees you coming and just sort of like falls on her butt and scrabbles back and is like, so she's like on her like back sort of thing on the hillside amongst all the loose stones.
Can I see if she's a full elf now? Or a half elf?
She is a full elf.
Okay. So I'm just like, elven scum. What camp is this of yours that you were speaking of? Where is it?
It's well, it's just over the hill. We're just some travelers through the lands.
What for?
To get to the salt marshes. We came this way because we thought there'd be no bandits. Yes.
Why are you trying to get to the salt marshes?
Just for visit some people and do some business, you know.
What do you know of the ruins in this area?
I don't know anything about ruins.
What direction did she point for her camp?
She waved her hand like behind her, so it's sort of on the way that you were going-ish.
Okay.
Like maybe like northeast instead of north, like, you know, off by that much, or, you know, east.
I'll just sigh and just do a face palm, and I'll be like, how many people are you? How many are in your room?
She's not a smartass and doesn't say one. There's half a dozen of us.
I'm just like, fine. And then I just kill her.
Okay, she dies.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look to make sure the man is dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
Well, actually, maybe I should roll for it. Because maybe he'll roll a natural 20 on his first saving throw. He's dead.
Okay.
When you get to him.
Yeah. Well, I just, watch him with my bow. And then I make sure he doesn't get up, and then I check her.
Yeah, they're both dead.
Yeah, I'll just, loot her.
Oh, you mean like loot?
Yeah.
She's got 5 silver and 5 copper.
Okay.
And do you loot the dude while you're at him?
Yeah, does she have anything noteworthy on her? Tattoos, jewelry, notes?
No. Nothing of that sort.
Okay. No valuables of any sort?
Other than the few coins, she does not.
Okay. And what about the guy?
He had 9 copper.
These people. Almost not worth killing. I'll take her bow.
Okay. You got another short
He
bow
had
now.
9 copper?
Correct.
Okay. And then I have a second short bow. Short bows are valuable. Okay. I take their bodies together
Mm-hmm.
and I try and like hide them as best I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can manage to. I mean, put them at the bottom of a hill, and it'll take some effort to like find enough stones if you want to totally cover them.
I'm not trying to hide them that well. It's just like I'll put them in like a small ditch, maybe throw some dirt and leaves over them.
Yeah, you do an okay job. Like
I'm not putting that much effort into it. It's just like if someone's walking by not paying attention, they're probably not going to notice.
Yeah, you do a job like that.
Yeah. And then I'll head over towards the hill where she said her camp was.
Okay, make a...
And I'll be stealthing my way over there.
Okay, make survival and stealth checks.
Ugh. Yeah. I'm stealthy as fuck.
You're so stealthy that you have trouble finding this camp. And it's getting pretty late, so you can keep looking, but you'll be staying up late. But
how much sleep did I get?
This is probably looking at it's probably about midnight now, so you weren't asleep for very long.
Okay. I can go without sleep for a night and be okay. I'm gonna try and find their camp during the night as best I can.
Okay. It takes you like after. I'll just let you know. Sorry, you spend another hour looking, haven't found it. Another hour, you haven't.
Yeah,
Then on the third hour, you do find it though.
Okay.
Or at least, yeah, you see a small campfire.
It's like 3 a.m. maybe or something.
Yeah, about 3 a.m. You see a small campfire in the bottom of a valley. There's 3 people sitting around having some sort of discussion. You can see hand movements.
They're all awake at this time of night. I looked to see if anyone's
which is unusual.
Standing guard. Like, she said a half dozen. I took out 2. There's maybe a 4th around or so.
Yeah, well, just by looking, you can see that there's with your perception check as well, the 12, you can see a 4th person who's just sort of walking around. So next to the campfire, there's 2 man-sized people. It's a bit hard to make out details at this range.
Yeah.
What looks like a dwarf, and then the person walking around is man-sized as well.
Okay. None of them stand out as elves.
I think you have to get a bit closer to be able to make out that.
Is there a point, with the guy who's
walking
around, like, keeping watch, is there a point where he's out of view of the rest of the group?
Yeah, all the time. It's not like he's doing like a circuit or anything. He's just sort of generally keeping out watch.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to find a point where he's not within view of the rest of the group.
Yeah. You can, with that stealth check, you can move around and get to a good point where you can see him and they can't see him, basically. And they're all having some sort of animated discussion.
Yeah, and if I'm within like 200 feet, I want to get like within 200 feet or so.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get within 200
take him
feet.
out.
And, yep, go for it. Got advantage.
18.
Yep. I think he
15
just dies.
total.
Yep, you got hit him with an arrow. He just falls over.
Okay.
The other people stop talking. One of them's like, "Hey," and like One of you can see that the two man-sized people are elves. One's a man, one's a woman, and then there's a dwarf there.
Yeah, I stay in my hiding spot where I am, and I
they-
wait for one of them to come towards the guy.
So yeah, someone seems to have heard something or realized something's up, and so so one of them gets up and starts walking over to where the guy was. The other two stand up, sort of near the fire, looking around up everywhere.
When the person gets to about where the guy is, I want to take a shot at them.
Okay, you shoot them.
17. I assume I still have advantage.
Oh, yep. You do hit.
And then 6 and 9. 15.
They're dead. Oh. Yes, they are.
Okay. Same
Pretty
thing.
good. Well, at this point, the other two notice, like, what's going on, and make another stealth check.
Really glad I have expertise in stealth. 25.
One of them makes a really, really good perception check that's still not good enough, though. But they realize something's up, and, like, there's a couple of tents set up around the fire, and, like, one of them goes and takes up behind a tent. The other one runs behind, like, a rock somewhere, and you can't... They actually manage to somehow, like, guess where you're shooting from and hide behind a rock.
They're
So you can't
completely
actually
out
see.
of vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two large tents. One of them's behind a tent, the other one is behind a rock.
I want to try and get a shot on the elf.
Okay, that was the one that went behind the rock. So do you want to move to a spot where you can do that?
Yeah, I want to stealth around until I can... get
Okay,
a shot.
make another stealth check, but at disadvantage this time, because they're actively, like, knowing
16.
that you're there. Okay. The person behind
I want
the
to stay
rock-
at about max range still,
Yeah.
which
You hear
is
someone
actually 320.
Okay, you hear someone shout, "He's up the hill north!" And you hear the other person answer back, like, I suppose they are shouting and said, "Have you got the bow?" And then you sort of don't hear anything else.
Okay.
from
Can I see the guy?
Not yet. He knows where you are
Yeah.
now, because he's the one that yelled out, so he's positioning himself such that he's fully behind this giant rock. And one of them yells out, "What do you want?"
Can I see the dwarf instead?
No, he's behind a tent. It's like a lot. There's two large tents, and there's like 6 people, so it's, a several-man tent. So you can't see him, but he's behind the tent.
Tents don't stop arrows.
They don't.
I'll take a guess at where he is behind the tent.
Okay. So obviously you have disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't do anything.
You just shoot an arrow through the tent, and nothing seems to happen.
Yeah. Well, I need to mark off these arrows.
Yeah. So you fired 3 into the camp, and you recovered 1 from the 2 people you killed just before. So you're
Okay.
down. So yeah, you're down 4.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just try and hide again and keep circling around until I can get view.
Okay, make another stealth check. Yeah. Okay, you managed to sneak around such that you get the flank on both of them. You can see them both.
Nice. I definitely go for the elf.
Okay.
Elves have dark vision. And fuck
Yeah.
elves. Ugh. Thank God for
Well,
flanking.
Yeah, you have advantage. Not from the, I'm not going to do it. Flanking gives advantage, but
Yeah.
your stealth check means they don't know where you are. So yeah, you hit.
And then... only 11.
Yeah, you do not actually kill them, but you hit them with the arrow. They let out a cry and start running in the opposite direction from you, like through the tents and stuff.
I mean,
You're like, ah! And they've got like an arrow sticking out of like...
as long as they don't
their
have full
side.
cover, I try again on my turn.
Yes, I suppose I don't really need to roll for initiative because you can get a shot off for sure before
Yeah.
they get away. It says he's up the hill
Yes.
there. You just kill him, like dead.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Okay. Now it's just the
The
dwarf.
dwarf. Yeah, and so the dwarf though had started running up the hill towards you, letting out a cry. He's got a battle axe. Probably roll for initiative now.
Okay. I have to do that manually.
Yeah, so you're probably about 80 feet from them,
Yeah,
just
like
such the
12.
way that the ridges of the hill work to be able to get a flank. 12, you go first.
Okay. I'll use my move and my bonus action to move backwards 60 feet, and then I'll just use my normal action to take a shot. I'm just going to do that.
Well, if you move backwards, you're going to be moving like downhill, so you can't see.
I mean, I might move sideways then. I just want to move away from him while keeping a clear view.
Okay, because the hill kind of curves a little bit, so you'll be able to put an extra 10 feet between you in terms of...
It'll be less efficient, but...
Yeah, you still put an extra...
some more distance.
Okay, so he runs at you.
And then I'll do an attack.
Yeah. Oh, that hits for sure. Oh, this is the guy that rolled shitty HP. He's gone.
Really?
Yeah, he rolled a 2 and a 1 on his hit die.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because the other wolf rolled double 1s as well.
He's the guy who charged.
Well, it was more just like he's the only one left because you caught him so by surprise.
Okay. So...
Now they're all dead.
I take care looking around, making sure like nobody's coming out of the tents or anything.
No.
Asleep. Stealthing around that group. Campsite, making sure there's no one there. Like, I'll spend 5-10 minutes just making sure shit's done.
Nobody's there.
That was 2 more arrows we spent.
Yeah. And you'll get 1 back.
Really?
You're getting 50% back.
Oh, I meant in total.
Oh, whatever you said, yeah.
Let's see, I spent 2 more. So that was 6 in total on this, so I get 3 back.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm next to the dwarf. I check him first.
Okay, he doesn't have anything on him of coins, tattoos, anything relevant. He's just got leather armor and a battle axe, basically.
A battle axe is valuable? I don't think so.
You're selling everything.
I mean, they're 10, but they're heavy. I don't have a lot of carry weight left.
It's also made of lead as well. So it's actually triple the weight.
Yeah. I just leave him. I guess I'll check the 2 people I got from hiding first.
I'll just say, looking around the bodies, they don't have any weapons. They've got a dagger each.
Yeah.
No coins on them.
I don't even bother with daggers. None of them have coins?
No.
Okay. The elf had a bow?
No.
One of the elves?
Neither of them had a bow.
The dwarf mentioned a bow.
He did, but no one in the camp seems to have a bow.
Okay, and then I'll look through their stuff for a bow then. Or, like, I'll just look through their stuff for anything useful or valuable.
Good thing you said that, because otherwise it would have been like, yep, you find nothing. Okay, so there's a bunch of clothes.
Any of them,
all sorts of
like, really nice?
There's some like good quality clothes.
I mean,
are they your size? No, they're not.
I mean,
there's like a
really nice
decent
quality I could sell. Otherwise, I don't
care. There's like a nice woman's dress and like some like man's nice shirt. Like not like super high quality, but decent enough. It's not silk, but it's nice.
How much would those weigh?
I don't know, like £1 each.
Okay.
It's just clothing. You find a little box with some coins, and it's got how much? Yeah, it's got six silver, a gold, and 12 copper.
Okay. And then any notes, anything. Is there a bow?
There is not a bow.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to
I guess
mention
it
that.
was the chick who had the bow they mentioned then.
Maybe. Yeah, so all the clothes you find, I guess you realize, probably don't belong to most of these people. There's a bunch of, there are papers and stuff, but it's relating to, there's just some letters with correspondence, things to do with, taxes and bills and stuff, totally not these people's stuff, but also not anything particularly valuable either,
Yeah.
but...
I mean, unless anything sticks out as interesting, I don't bother. But I do read through them to make sure there's nothing useful.
Yeah, it's all just pretty dry, general a lot of mercantile stuff. So you figure these guys are probably some form of bandits. This is just their camp.
Yeah. So nothing else useful or valuable amongst them.
Not really. I mean, the tents are useful and valuable.
Yeah.
One has a hole through it though.
How
it's like a 4-person
much
tent.
would the tent weigh? Or one of the tents for just me?
There's 2 4-person tents, so
okay. Yeah.
The answer is a lot, but I can probably tell you.
A 2-person tent is 20 pounds.
So this one it would be it would be double it at least.
Yeah.
What page is that on?
That's just under all the random gear stuff. On 150.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, tent 2-person. Yeah, so
I'm
it's
not
40.
Even gonna bother with that then.
Yeah, 40-pound tent.
I don't really want to trade out a bedroll for a blanket. That doesn't really seem like a good trade.
No. Both would be extra good though.
Yeah, I need less carry weight, not more.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll gather up the bodies from around here, drag them into one of the tents, and then I'll go to sleep in the other one.
Okay.
I make a point of hiding myself underneath stuff. So if anyone walks in and is like, "Oh my god, what happened?" I'm also hidden underneath a blanket that's underneath some clothes.
Well, assuming that they are all sleeping in tents, there's at most one other. Well, actually, you only see 7 beds in there, or 6, or however many there were.
There were 6 people I killed.
Yeah, so there's 6 beds. So you feel pretty confident going to sleep that you're not going to get woken up by an extra person.
Yeah, but I cover myself in things just...
Yeah, I know, anyway. Just in case. Nothing happens through the night. You wake up totally fine in the morning.
Okay. Yep. I already used that ration. Okay. Do a once-over, make sure I had nothing...
They have rations as well, I suppose I forgot to mention.
Okay.
I suppose they have miscellaneous things, they have a rope as well if you want a rope. It's only hemp, but...
I'll take 3 rations.
Okay.
Is there any miscellaneous shit I care about? Arrows? Do any of them have arrows?
The woman did, probably. There's no arrows in the camp.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably only like 5 minutes to go check her body if you do want to go.
yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna head back there. Because I assume I probably went back there to get my stuff because I wasn't sneaking around with my pack on.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, you get a half dozen arrows.
Okay, so I get 6 arrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see the mountains in the distance for the next day. And you do anything else?
Before, I'll just like throw all the bodies on the campfire along with some of the crappy clothes and things, and then I'll light it on fire.
Okay. It goes up. I guess you could throw on one of the tents as well. You could tear that down and just chuck it over. It goes up in a like great big stinking mess of like burning flesh and cloth and stuff.
Yeah, and I get the heck out of there.
Okay. So yeah, you travel for another few hours until you get to sort of the foot of where the mountains rise up. You can see them approaching as you go through the hilly terrain. So yeah, so where you are, the mountains sort of like they start basically. You're at almost a corner, if you could call it that, of the mountains. And so you were told, yeah, go south from here for a few days, and then the mountains will curve back. So they're looking for an entrance on the southeastern side, which is where you're starting, or southwestern side.
Okay. So.
So you have to make. So I guess you start going along cartographying it.
Yeah, making note of like the terrain around here, how far it goes on, if there are like any things that look like they're paths into the mountains. I'll like go up them a little ways and see if they continue on for a while or if they stop suddenly. And I'll like mark it down and I'll be like, oh, this is a false path into the mountains. This path goes on indeterminate distance. Blah blah blah.
Okay. So as you're going up sort of one of the mountain passes doing your thing, you hear
I always have my bow out while doing this too.
Yeah. You hear a really loud, low rumbling sound, like not of a creature, but of like a mountain or something. And yeah, you feel the ground shake, and from up above you, you see a few boulders start tumbling down. Not like directly at you, but you still close enough that you do not feel comfortable standing still, and you want to get out of the way.
Okay. Are they up the path or down the path from me mostly, or like directly above?
It's not on the actual path that you're on. It's sort of perpendicular to you on the side. So from like a sheer height, some rocks come tumbling down.
Yeah. Move and dash out of the way.
Yeah, I guess make a dex saving throw to avoid rock slide. Too easy. So yeah, a few rocks tumble down, and they end up sort of blocking up the passage where you are a bit. They're sort of like waist high blocking, because the passage is probably wide enough for a cart at the point you're at, and now it's like filled waist high with rocks at that region.
Was this further up or back the way it came?
Neither. It was like sideways, so it wasn't further up the path or back from it. It was like off to your right.
Okay. So, was that like a different direction, or it's just like it closed off like half the pathway or something?
What do you mean? Like it just
like did
closed
it branch off or like
the path?
Yeah, was the path like branching off, or was it just like now it's narrower?
Yeah, now it's narrower basically.
Okay. Okay. I check to see if, like, I look around to see if someone, like, caused this on purpose. So I check up on the cliffs above and see if I see anyone looking around, like, hanging out and things.
Yeah, you actually see, up on the side of the path, you see a couple of, like, large, ugly, sort of goblinoid-looking creatures, but the thing is, they look like they're like talking or having some sort of discussion or argument, and it doesn't look like they're actually paying attention to you.
Okay, so they probably weren't the ones that like pushed all that off. At least on
Yeah,
purpose, I mean.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Like they're in the spot that you would be to have pushed those rocks down. I mean, it wasn't like terrible rock slide. Like, it was a bunch of rocks
Yeah.
like the size of your head that would do serious injury. But it was a bunch of stuff like that. Like a few of them rolled down, and it's sort of like there's the avalanche effect where it like made other rocks chip off or get knocked over and cascaded down. But yeah, they don't seem to have noticed you
Do I
or
recognize what species they are?
nature. Give me a nature check. Yeah, they look like a pair of bugbears.
Okay.
And actually, you don't speak any bugbeary languages, do you?
I don't think so. No.
I think you speak Sylvan, don't you? Sylvan, Elven.
Yeah, Common, Elven, and Sylvan.
Yeah, they are not speaking any of those three languages, and they're like 100 feet up anyway. So
I sneak my way out of there back towards the base of the mountains where I came from.
yeah, we'll make a stealth check. Stealth it.
Come on, not fucking up. Yay.
Yeah, they seem to be having an argument of it's just kind of funny in their language, and they start like yelling at each other, and you can hear their yells as you make your way back down the pass to the base of the mountains and continue along.
Yeah. Doing this as stealthily as possible because now I know there's bugbears around and bugbears are bad.
Indeed, they are. So you spend the rest of the day mapping out stuff until it comes to evening.
Yeah.
So
Goblinoids are more active at night.
yeah,
A lot of effort looking for a really good spot to hide in.
yeah, you find a totally good, like. Do you want to be more in the mountains or more in the hills at the bottom of
I mean,
them?
it doesn't matter as long as I'm like really secluded.
Okay, so you see on a hillside a small sort of like almost like a ledge that you can get to, and it looks like there's a sort of like cave or other sort of sheltered area. You actually, it's sort of got a small opening in the rock, so you didn't even see it at first.
Does
But,
the cave like keep continuing back and back and back?
No,
Or
like
is
you
it
look
just
in
like-
and
It's a slight hollow.
it's more of a hollow. Like it's not like you've stumbled into an actual goblin cave and haven't realized sort of
Yeah.
thing. It's just some unused sort of hollow that's nestled into the face of the mountains near the base. So
I checked for
And-
any signs that anything was like roosting or living in here. Anytime
give me a
recently.
survival check.
Yeah.
You can't find anything like there's no obvious like droppings or fur or bones or any stuff like that. It's just like bare dirt floor with pebbles and stuff.
I hole up here then for the night.
Okay. You awaken in the morning.
Spend a ration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. I just continue along then. Stealthily,
Okay.
cautiously.
So you're going for a few hours. Okay. So it's coming along sort of. It's not quite evening. It's afternoon. The light's starting to dim a bit, and yeah, you see from up near one of the mountain sort of peaks. There's this big like. You see some like white streaks fly out from the mountainside, like of light. These bright white streaks of light shoot out.
Like lightning bolts or something weird.
Some like they don't look like lightning bolts. They're not that sort of jagged sort of shape. It's like some sort of like someone's thrown a projectile that's like glowing brightly, and it just sort of shoots in a straight line until it sort of fades away and disappears.
Weird magic shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Hunker down. See if I can see anything coming from that area.
Okay. I mean, it's up the side of a mountain that's like in no way, in a direct straight line up. It's probably at least 500 feet. and you can't climb straight up or down.
Yeah,
where
I
this
mean,
is
I'm
coming
just
from.
gonna like hold out and see if anything like comes into view from over there.
Okay.
Further.
Make a perception check then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see anything. Like they were coming from sort of the side of the mountain, just around from where you can see. So you're not sure what it is, but it's something weird going on.
Yeah. I don't mess with it unless something happens to draw my
Okay.
attention. I'll just
No-
keep doing my job.
Yeah, you while you're just waiting through the evening before you go to sleep, you actually see it happen again. This time, there's like 8 lines, just like just shooting out sort of into the air, then fading away as they fly. But nothing. You don't hear anything. You don't see any people or creatures. Nothing
Yeah.
seems to be disturbing you.
Yeah. I won't go looking for trouble.
It's fair enough.
Same thing, try and find a really nice defensible spot.
Okay. Yeah, you find like another cave like that, but this one's nice and sheltered. It's even got a pool of clear water out the front of it as well.
Nice.
And yeah, so you just shelter down there, and it's totally protected from wind and rain. It's got clear, fresh, like it's an actual like mountain spring. Like it's not just rainwater that's collected.
Yep.
It's a good little cave.
Okay. Pull up there for the night.
Yep, and nothing happens through the night either.
Okay. It's been
And
about
so
another hour. Do you want to do a break?
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay. Back in a bit. I'll
Yep.
see if
See
I
ya.
can actually